Colorado's good.
Yeah, Colorado.
They're legit. Today is a terrible day in American history, which I'm sure you're all aware. Today is the 11th of September, and oh, happy birthday. Tell her I said happy birthday. Huh? So today we are going over your practice quiz. I feel like this is part of what I would want my teacher to do, which is why I do it. I teach largely based on how I would want to be taught. Some might call that selfish, but I would like to go through this as one final coat of paint to verify for myself that I am ready. I know how to show my work. I know when to add, when to subtract, when to flip and multiply, when to divide, all that stuff. So if you walk away from this today feeling like you have any questions, make sure you take advantage of Flex today. I can also hang out with you for a little while after school today. I know that's harder for you freshmen because most of you don't drive. So that's tougher because you're at the mercy of parents picking you up and buses and stuff. So if you need Flex today, make sure you ask because I cannot read minds. FYI, bless you. So I'm going to copy the problems onto the board. I just want to have more room to show my work. And so that's why I'm not going to just do it on the PDF. So our first equation says x plus 5 equals negative 13. So who would like to volunteer? What do we do to both sides? Kason? Right. And when I show my subtraction by 5, I'm going to place a minus 5 on both sides. Close it off, minus 5. And again, don't jump ahead. I've been trying to stress this to you now for 3 weeks. Don't worry about the answer to the right-hand side. Cancel, drop, drop. Like set the stage for where your answer is going to go. So cancel your inverses, drop the leftovers, drop the equals. What is negative 13 minus 5? 100% negative 18. And as we said, once you plug that back in, which you're not going to be pressed for time on a quiz like this. So if you want to know if you got it right, you can take that number negative 18 and go put it back in place of x at the beginning of the problem and verify that the left side and the right side match. And when you're like, yeah, then you box it up, full send, right? So we should always box our answers as a committed statement of, I'm happy with this. All right, question number 2, not really number 2, but it's the second one, so we'll go with that. Gunnar, what do you think we ought to do, my man? 100%, yes. Let's divide both sides by 4. And remember that division is expressed with just a fraction line like this. And so we're going to divide both sides by 4. And again, don't worry about what the answer is. Let's just set the stage. Get used to always setting the stage, right? So we're going to cancel, drop, drop, cancel your 4s, drop your m, drop your equals. That should all be in place before. And now you do have to always do basic skills every day. What's negative 32 divided by 4? Negative 8. Perfect. And as always, plug it back in when you feel really good, like, yep, then you hit full send. Any questions so far on the first 2? Okay. The third question is negative 12 plus k equals negative 20. Shiloh, what do you think we ought to do here? Totally add 12, right? So we want to get rid of that negative 12. And since he's not attached by times, division won't help, right? He's detached. We know he's detached by that plus sign. So he's his own term. So we have to kill him with a plus or minus. Great job, Shiloh. So we're going to add 12, close them off, cancel, drop, drop. And the basics just will never stop haunting you. If you still somehow even think of the number 32 or negative 32, it's just going to haunt you until you stop ignoring the number line. Down 20, up 12, where are we? Negative 8. We have to eradicate answers that don't make sense. We have to eradicate answers like positive 8, negative 32. Those are just you not considering how the number line works, right? If you owe someone $20 and pay them back 12, you still are negative to them, negative by 8. So plug it back in, negative 12 plus negative 8. Yep, works, full send. All right, let's head on to the fourth one. So these are all, you might remember, these are what we call one-step equations, right? We can do them in just one blast step. Egan, what do you think we ought to do to this one? Say it again. You can. If you guys are comfortable with what Tegan just said, this is not the way I taught you to do it, but I would like to say that when I taught you how to do this, that day was specifically reserved for one-step equations, which is why I forced the issue. But if you are more comfortable not working with fractions, then you can do what Tegan said, and that is let's just do nothing but get rid of the fraction. I realize that most of you probably multiplied by -6/5, which is awesome. But I also am totally happy if you just multiply by 6. That doesn't finish the job, but what it does do is it eliminates the fraction. And you get rid of a fraction, to me, that's always progress. And so I've got -5x that I bring down. You see how all that stuff is still left over? And that's okay. And then we're going to bring down a really big number. What's 6 times 45? Say it again. No, you just do what's 6 times 40? 240. And then what's 6 times 5? And 240 plus 30 is 270. So this method gets a little bit intimidating if you try to not use a calculator, because using this method is rad because it feels a little smoother than dealing with fractions. We just do get kind of buffed up numbers, which if that's the worst thing that happens all day, it's a pretty good day, right? Now we do have one more step to go. Tegan, what would we do to finish your job here? Perfect. We can divide by -5. Right, and then we're going to drop down the leftovers and the equal sign, and then 270 divided by 5 can be a little intimidating. Do you guys know what it is? Yeah, so in this case, it's -54, because the positive divided by the negative told us that, and then the math of it is 54. So I'll run through that problem again. I just would like to take the shorter method, but be advised, that method is awesome. I got no issues with that at all. Takes a little bit longer, but who cares? So let's do that problem again, but let's this time do it in one step. So we have -5/6 of x equals 45. So what's our other approach? Let's multiply by negative flippy flop, -6/5, like this. And this allows it to be done in one quick step, which, whatever. So the negatives kill each other. This negative and this negative cancel to become positives. The 6s kill each other. The 5s kill each other. And the algebra is done. And now it's just basic math. How do we do that math problem on the right? And by it, I assume you're referring to the number 45, huh? So 45 over 1. And then you can cross cancel. This is a little easier. I like this method just in that I don't have to use a calculator. That 270 divided by 5 or whatever that was like, whoa, that was a little scary. This time I can just see what I need to see. 45 and 5 can both be divided by 5, resulting in a 1 and a 9. And now I just use my times tables, -54. So either of those methods is just awesome. We good on the top row? Okay. The common mistake I saw on the first problem of the second row was people using the wrong operation. So we'll talk about this. As I walked around the room and I observed people doing the practice quiz, I saw a lot of people flipping 11/12 over and multiplying. Why is that not appropriate in this case? Why would that, like, why is this? Here, I'll do it. I'll take one for the team. Don't do what I'm about to do. Or 12/11s is what I meant to put. Because it's what? Yeah, because it's not multiplied. We're not trying to kill a multiply 11/12s. We're trying to kill a minus 11/12s. Multiplication won't do you any good here. So I did see that mistake a lot, so I thought I would bring that up. So what we're going to add, we want to get rid of the number that's next to the y. So we're all going to add 11/12s to both sides. Close it off. Close it off. Before you worry about the math, cancel, drop, drop. So cancel out your fractions, your inverses, bring down your y, bring down your equals. Now we have a quandary. How do you add two fractions? Common denominator. What is the common denominator of eighths and twelfths? 24. There are a lot of others. There are infinitely many others, but 24 is the best. It's the smallest. And so I'm going to turn these both into 24ths. I'll stick my plus sign back in. What's the top of the top fraction going to be? Negative 15, right? Don't forget to transfer all your signs when you go mooking with fractions, right? Signs still carry. And what's the top of the bottom going to be? 22, so plus 22. And basic skills, yet again, I think it's Monday morning at 10 after 8, and we've already had like 24 basic skills tests today. What's negative 15 plus 22? 7. This one's definitely harder to check it when you put it back in. You've got to really know your stuff to be able to put it back in and but it does work. So once you've checked it, if you choose to, we'll send, box it up. And I don't think I boxed up my last couple. Don't hold it against me. Okay. Next one. We have 4 plus x over 6. Quantity 4 plus x all over 6 equals -3. Hagen, what do we do first here? We could, in fact, multiply them. What would you like to multiply them by? Yeah, that is actually really the only decent answer here. This fraction 6 thing has got to go. 4 and 6 are not free to move about the cabin. They're stuck. They're bound up. But if we multiply by 6, then we can cancel the inverses and then do our drop. So we're going to bring down the 4 plus x. And on the right side, what do we get? -18. And now we're back to one more step to go. Morgan, what should we do from here? Totally. Yeah, subtract 4, close it off, subtract 4, close it off, cancel, drop. X equals what? -22. Good. We good still? All right. You see that we've now entered the world of two-step equations. So next one is -56 equals 7n minus 35. Beavers, what do we do first? Perfect answer. Let's all add 35 to both sides. So close them off, cancel, drop your 7n, drop your equals. And then basic math now for the, I don't know, 34th time. What's -56 plus 35? Negative, for sure. Come hell or high water, that answer is negative, right? And then it's 21. You owe someone $56 and are only able to pay them 35, you're still negative, but only by 21. Last step. You go. What do we do? Both sides. Yep. Cancel, drop, and equals what, Vigo? Big difference. Good job. Okay. Check it. Send it. This last one will signify 2 rows down. So I'll take a couple of different answers on this problem as to what should we do first. So this is like the one I asked Tegan about. This one can be done multiple ways. So Rutley, what would you do first here? Sure. It's a great method, by the way. There is a quicker way, as some of you probably know, but Rutley's method, multiplying, we call that distributing, right? is always going to work. So if you were thinking, let's divide by -8, that's great. And it works really well in this case because the 40 over there is really cooperative. He's like, go ahead, divide me by -8. I'm good. Like, but that won't always be the case. So I really like Bretley's method here. I'm going to take the -8 and distribute it through the parentheses. Bretley, what do we get?
-8m plus 32.
Absolutely perfect execution. Perfect execution. Bretley, what's our next step? Yeah, subtract, shut it off, subtract, shut it off, cancel, drop, drop, -8m equals. What's 40 minus 32? Definitely +8. Bretley, you might as well finish this off here. What's the last step? There's sweet, sweet 3 words, 2 words, both sides, both sides, both sides. -8, -8, cancel, drop, drop. M equals what? Bretley? Yep. Once you plugged it back in, -1, it works. Full send, box it up. 2 rows down. Any questions so far? Crushing it? All right. All right, on to the third row we go. We have -7 equals -13 plus the quotient of x and 4. Dallin, what would you do first?
You want to get rid of the,
You can. It's not a smart play in this case. I shouldn't say the word smart. It's not a safe choice, but would you like to multiply by 4? I would add 13. Starting on Wednesday, when we go fraction killing, I'm going to put you in a position where what Dallin just said is actually a really good move. But this fraction doesn't need to be killed yet because there are other parts that we can do before. So I am going to go ahead and just add 13. If you did multiply by 4, you can make it work. Like, it's totally easy. You just have to make sure to do it right. So we're going to cancel, drop, drop. Dallin, what's -7 plus 13? Thank you, Dallin.
oh,
It's definitely +6. Dallin, what's our last step?
um, yeah.
I'm just letting you have this whole conversation with yourself. I agree. And how do we show our multiplication, Mr. Floyd? Right. Remember, no more little cute dots and baby X's. You'll see the importance of this, I hope, starting on Wednesday, that we parenthesize an equation to say, I'm going in. I'm going to multiply everything in there by 4. So we're going to multiply on both sides like this. And then we're going to cancel, drop, drop. And what is 4 times 6, Dallin? Right. So plug it back in. It works. We'll send. Going back to something that Dallin said, I want to be clear. If in this first step, if this is something that you want to start working on today, you can parenthesize the whole equation and multiply by 4. The mistake I saw as I walked around last week was that people sometimes forget that there's 3 things in parentheses, not 2. So if you're going to take this approach, I fully support this, but you need to multiply here, which everyone always remembers to do, and that's -28. And then you also need to multiply here, which again, everyone remembers to do, But the issue, what a lot of people forget, is you also have to multiply here. And so that's the one that I saw getting left out. And so 4 times negative 13 is negative 52. So you see that it will still work as long as you distribute through the full equation correctly. So this one, add 52. So that's great. Still good? All right, then on to the next one. Now we see variables on both sides of the equation. Peyton, what would you do first on this one? That's fine. I realize that I can't unteach all the things that my the teachers before me taught you, but you might remember me in class talking about that there are numbers on the board that are dead to me. Which ones are they? Yeah, you shouldn't even be looking at the 13 and the -5. Why? What don't they have? They don't have variables. And I'm not saying that what Peyton did is wrong. It's gorgeous. I'm sure that, and Peyton, by the way, is a wonderful mathematician. If she gets rid of the 13, I'm going to almost guarantee you that she still got the right answer. But I'm a guy that's got to play the odds. I've got to teach as many people as I can correctly. So I'm telling you, you should control your variables first. Who's smaller, -10 or -4? I shall then get rid of the -10n by adding 10n. And again, mark my words, even if you didn't do it this way, if you know what you're doing, you probably came out just fine. Now, getting rid of those, and I don't encourage you to scribble things out on your quiz because you'll lose track of what was there. But anyways, what's left now is a +13. And then what is -4n plus 10n? 6n. And then what was after that was a -5. By controlling my n's, I have assured myself that the number in front of n is positive. Cruz, what will we do now? We're going to add 5. Close it off. Add 5. Close it off. Cancel. Drop. Drop. 13 plus 5. 18. Last step. Divide 6 on both sides. Cancel. Drop. Drop. And what is 18 divided by 6? 3. When I said what's a good first step, you could have said any one of 4 things. Only one of them would I have supported fully, and that is killing the smaller variable. But you could have said get rid of the 13, add the 4n, add the 5. And if you know what you're doing, there are 4 pathways to get to this answer. So n equals 3. All right, next one, same kind of idea. We have variables on both sides. So we have 3x plus 13 equals -11 minus x. Who am I? I got blinders. I can't see. Addie, who don't I see on the board? What numbers are dead to me on the board? Right. You don't have variables. I don't need to control you right now. I want to force my variables to the side where they'll be positive. Having said that, Addie, what should we do? I couldn't agree more. Let's add x to both sides because -x is smaller than +3x. Close them off, cancel, drop, drop. Addie, how many x's are we going to have over here? Good job. And then we still have our +13 equal to a -11. Addie, why don't you help me finish this one off? What's next? I agree. Close it off, cancel, drop, drop. Hey, Addie, what's -11 minus 13? Yep, good basics. Last step. You mean, I'm sorry, both sides by 4? That's right, both sides. Everything we do, we're getting away with it because we're doing it to both sides. And x equals what? Well done. Plug it back in, check it. If you like it, full send, box it up. Great job. All right, we have 4 to go. Any questions yet? Okay. This problem exists on the practice quiz and will exist on the actual quiz. It may not be in the same position. I might jumble things up a bit. We'll see, but it will be here. This concept will be here. Jesse, what are you thinking here, my man? What should we do?
You?
The other Jesse. Yeah, you. Sorry, you didn't deserve that. Yeah.
Practice.
Subtract 10y. And why are you doing that? I'm interested. I could not have asked for better answers. Good job, young man. We're going to subtract 10y. And we are kind of going against the whole move the smaller y thing, but I wanted you in that position to make sure you understand that idea. Don't make one side empty. Great job, Jesse. Cancel, drop, drop. So we're going to bring down the positive 18. Hey, Jesse, what's 8y minus 10y? Nice job. Let's finish it off, Jesse. What do we do? Cancel, drop, drop. And Mr. Hughes, what is 18 divided by -2? Nice job. Well executed. That was just perfect. All right. Plug it in, check it, send, box, whoop, just like that. Top notch. This next problem is a little bit lengthy, so I will grudgingly copy it onto the board here. So we have -m minus 5 minus 2m equals a bunch of m's minus the big number minus some more bunch of m's minus another decent sized number. Ryan, what ought we do first? Yeah, so we're not really in control, but I do like that you're combining them on one side. So let's focus on this red side, Jess or Ryan. How many m's are we going to get? That is not that is not correct. That is also not correct. The reason we do practice quizzes like this is because today is a day for us to have discussions. And the great news about today is that these mistakes aren't going to affect your grade. Now, if you don't learn from the mistakes today, then it will affect your grade. I have a sneaking suspicion that some people might have done something like this, and I'm just guessing. And that is one of the things that if I have 5 successes with you this year, I hope that this is one of them, that you never do that again. What I just did should only be done when the m's that you're trying to put together are separated by the almighty equal sign. When they're on the same side of the equal sign, you don't actually show any work. You're not really getting rid of anybody, so to speak. You literally just combine them. What's -1m minus 2 more m's? -3m's. That's not a step where you can show work. It's just combining terms. Done. So let's head over to the other side now and think the exact same way. I've got some m's here, -9 more m's. Plain and simple. Ryan, what's 11 minus 9? 2. Good. And then I also have some more like terms. I've got a -45, and I'm going to take away 10 more. Positive -45 minus 10 more. If you're 45 feet underwater and swim down 10 more, where are you? -55. So I want to be perfectly clear. I want to eradicate that. It's still September. I want to get that out of here completely. Don't ever do the whole see a minus, do a plus, see a plus, do a minus. When they're on the same side of the equal sign, you're just putting them together old school. And now it's time to control the variables. That's our thinking now. Ryan, which one do we want to get rid of? I agree wholeheartedly. The -5 and the -55 are dead to me. Ryan, good job, says the -3 is smaller m's than the 2, so we shall add 3 m's to both sides. Close them off, cancel, drop, drop. And of course, that's 5n. Ryan, what's the next step? 100%. Yes, agreed. Let's add 55 to both sides. Cancel, drop, drop. Hey, Ryan, what's negative 5 plus 55? Last step. Dig in. Nice. And that's it. Drop the m, drop the equals. 50 divided by 5 is 2 to go. Any questions? Are you guys feeling pretty good so far? Like, I'm ready to start my school year in algebra with like a 98 or 100% on this bad boy. This is great. What a great way to start the year. To not have to deal with the ineligibility list and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Let's just start strong. You got 23 hours and like 15 minutes to work out any kinks that might still be in your system. So we got 2 more. Let's go. Last row, we have -2 times the quantity of -6 plus 3n, closed quantity, equals, I know you're getting a little squirrely. I've long surpassed what science says is the amount of time I should expect you to sit and focus. I appreciate you. We're almost there, guys. And there it is. Mila? If you did anything other than distribution, it's not going to work. It literally is like it. So great job, Miley. You must distribute at this point in time. So -2 is going to hit there and there. So the 2 red arrows are going to give me what answers, Milo? Perfect. And then on the right side, Milo, what are we distributing? That's weird. What is that? Sure, it's like a -1. You can put a number there, it's okay. And then that -1 multiplies into the parentheses like such. And Milo, what are we going to get? And then that -9 just copies down. Great job. Absolute must for that first step. Get rid of those parentheses. Milo, what's next? Nope. Add like terms. And like we talked about in the last problem, the like terms are on the same side of the equal sign. So this is not who's smaller. This is just old school, put them together. What's -3 and -9 added together, Mila? Good. So this step sometimes is frustrating for people because there's a lot of copying stuff down, but too bad. That's pretty much a first worldy kind of problem there. So now I'm ready for you, Mila. What are we ready to do? Oh, beautiful, beautiful words. Add 6n to both sides like poetry. Cancel. Drop, drop. Drop your 12, drop your equals. Milo, what's -5n's plus 6n's? Yeah, just n. That's a bad time to put a 1 because it's going to make you think that there's still a 1 that we have to get rid of, which is kind of weird. So in this case, it's good not to put it, and then copy down the -12. Milo, last step. Yeah, let's do it. Add 12 to both sides. It's right here. -5n. So -5 plus 6 is +1. And that's why right here, do you see how I put 1n, except I didn't put the 1? All good? Okay. Drop your n, drop your equals. 12 plus 12 is? Send it. Last one. After this, we'll have about 7 minutes. You may use that time to continue working on your page of notes. Okay, or ask me any questions that you might still have. Last problem is 11 minus the quantity of 3x minus 7 minus an additional x is equal to 5 minus 2 times the quantity of x plus 4 closed quantity minus 1 more. Landon, what do you think we ought to do first? Yeah, so on this red side over here, what are we distributing? Mm-mm. Nice job. Remember, everybody, there's like a number 11 that you have to ignore, but the -1 or the -1 is what's going in. What are we going to get here, Thorup? So should I just put 7 like that? Good job, +7. Evans, on the right-hand side, the yellow side, what are we going to do first? That is not a 2. That's much better. So this entire -2 is going to distribute himself in. And so I'm going to have some things that I've got to copy down, like this 5 and this -1. They can just wait. Brendel, what are we going to get when we distribute that -2? Correct. And I'm sorry, I've been trying to get everybody. I still need to talk to Cambry. I still need to talk to, yes, right here, Alana, Gage, perhaps. I'm trying to, Morgan, I don't think have I gotten you? Yes, I did get you already. Cambry, what do you think? Good job, by the way, guys. Good team effort there. Okay, that's mandatory distribution first. Cambry, what do you think we ought to do now? Absolutely. And again, Ryan, not to pick on you, but because they're on the same side of the equal sign, we're not going to do any nonsense here. Are we just going to put them together? We have -3 x's minus 1 more x. You want to take a shot at that? -3x minus another x. Thank you, Cambry. Good job. Well done. Did your voice change over the weekend? That's weird. Wow. That was like quick. That was like 3 days and took a drop. It's impressive. Thanks, Cambry. Hey, Nielsen, while we're over here, why don't we go ahead and combine some more? What's 11 plus 7? Nice job, kid. Excellent work. Thank you for helping me with that. Alana, I'm going to have you help me on the right side. What should we do over there? Right, good eye. So we've got a boatload of like terms. We got 5 minus 8. What is that? 5 minus 8. If you have $5 and you want to buy something that costs 8, you have to borrow some money from your friend. How much? You only have to borrow 3. So it's -3. So the 2 green boxes are 5 minus 8 are -3. And then what's -3 minus 1 more? Nice job. So I'm gonna, I like my x's first. So I'm gonna take the -2x and copy it down. And then I'm gonna do what Alana said, and that is put my -4. Gage, what should we do next? No, I was thinking of the Gage of it. Oh, that Gage isn't here today. Yeah, Gage, go ahead. Sure. It's net, by the way, people who say sarcasm is the tool of the weak mind, they're the weak ones. They just, because they don't know, they don't get it. That's why that's the cop out. Why would you do that? Which one do you think I ought to do? Add 2x or add 4x? So you like it when there's a negative on your x. Holy Toledo. We got to check this guy. I think he's an alien. We're gonna need to peel back some skin and see if we can expose the green scaly surface underneath there. Gage is just bucking the tradition, bucking the trend, saying, you know what? I am not scared. And he's gonna add 2x to both sides. Living on the edge, Gage. Crazy. Cray cray. So what do we get then, Gage? What? 2x. What should we do next? I agree. And what do we get after this? I'm not interested in negative 22. Cancel, drop, drop. I think I've said that 509. No, 604 times. No, that was sarcasm also. See? That's when you know you're killing it, when no one even knows that. Of course I'm not counting it. Cancel, drop, drop. What am I going to write down? Now I'm interested in your negative 22. Good job. Nice job. And so again, you see all my talk about controlling the variables is honestly, if you take someone who knows what they're doing, it doesn't matter. You can add 2x, add 4x, subtract this. If you can control negatives and not be scared of the basics, lots of different pathways. So box it up, send it. Your quiz will contain questions like this, maybe in the same order, maybe shuffled. I don't know. I like the format of this, so we'll see. The only difference is, of course, will change the numbers and I will spread it over a front side and a back side, so you've got lots of room to show your work, just like we've talked about. Do you have any issues? Would anyone, if you're too embarrassed or bashful to ask, you can come see me after class, but for you bold ones, anyone want to come in for flex today? You hold on to that. You're bringing that with you tomorrow. I'm going to stop recording real quick, so give me just a sec. And then I will